As the weather heats up in the home stretch of the 2014-15 school year, the accolades and achievements at Lenape High School heat up as well. The most prominent events, clubs, and everything in between are finally ready to be shared. The best of the concluding months is all right here in this spring 2015 edition of Lenape Tribal News, which starts right now.
Welcome to Lenape Tribal News. I'm Celine Pence alongside Jack Watson. Since our last episode, students and staff have been busy planning events, raising money for charity, and enjoying school life.
That's right, Celine. What do we have to start us off today?
The commencement of the Animal Rights Club is driving students to take another step in the right direction for supporting pets. For more information about the club's effort in and outside of school, we go to Ryan Anderson.
Every year, approximately 7.6 million animals are abandoned in shelters. How can this statistic diminish over time? ROAR, that's how. Reach Out for Animal Rights, also known as ROAR, is a brand new club here. Students and teachers with a loving passion for animals unite to create a wonderful and caring atmosphere to benefit mistreated animals. In their spare time, the club members and the advisors meet to propose and execute ideas to support struggling animals and the helpful organizations that have rescued them. The club hopes to raise awareness for the well-being of animals by making posters, selling treats, and spreading the word. Through their volunteer work, the members show that it is possible to make a difference even with a modest high school club. Ms. Purvis, a chemistry teacher and an advisor of Roar Club, is a strong believer in the welfare of animals. She hopes Roar Club can contribute to the fight for animal rights.
So the Roar Club here at Lenape, we really want to support all these organizations that are already set in place to help all these animals in need. Besides spreading the word and letting the families and communities around here know what they need, like the foster families, to help get these animals prepared for adoption.
Brooke Porter, president of Roar Club and a junior at Lenape High School, has had the opportunity to witness her club flourish into a growing effort for animal safety and protection.
Well, I started it to give people the chance to go out in the community and do things that maybe they wouldn't have the access to or information to do so. So I hope that people at Lenape will take initiative and go out and help animals in our community and maybe like out of our community, just because there are so many that need help, and I think that this club is a great opportunity to give that to.
They would like to support animals however possible, so their work is not only beneficial temporarily, but in the future as well.
I feel that we've domesticated these animals, and at that point, they rely on us to take care of them. So it's not fair for us just to have an animal in our life and not really care about it or even know how to care for it. I want to spread the word. I want to give that sense of awareness to families that need that support.
I hope that people will maybe think differently and be able to take initiative and go out in the community, and that the animals' lives are changed also.
Roar Club is clearly a collective group of caring students with a passion for animals. With their support, hopefully the stress laying on top of animals will be lightened and replaced with love and care. They are making a difference to the lives of animals, which is something to be proud of. We'd like to thank Ms. Purvis and the members of Roar Club and the Voorhees Animal Orphanage for their generous contributions to our story. I'm Ryan Anderson, now back to the studio.
You know, I really enjoyed seeing the puppies and kittens in that last news pack. They were so cute.
Definitely, and the Roar Club, it really is a great way for the students involved to get involved in the community as well. Just before Lenape students and staff retired to spring break, many attended the STEM Career Night. For more on the festivities, we go to McKenna Sampson.
At the annual STEM Career Night, students from all of the Lenape high schools interested in the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, were able to come together and meet with a professional in that career field. 3 years ago, the Lenape Regional High School District started STEM Career Night. At the event, students and their parents were able to visit different classrooms where various professionals presented their career fields. Gary Noecker, the math and counseling supervisor, helped to organize and run STEM Career Night for the past 3 years.
Well, I'm an assistant principal. I'm the supervisor of the math and counseling departments, and as supervisor of the math departments, that's the M in STEM.
Every presenter that came to STEM Career Night returned from last year.
We had a good turnout last year of presenters, so we used the same people last year because all the presenters enjoy working doing the presentations, and the students enjoyed what the presenters had to say.
Ralph Fleming is a biochemist and now an instructor at Burlington County Community College. Mr. Fleming has experience as both a biochemist and a college instructor.
I'm an instructor at Burlington County College. I teach organic chemistry and microbiology lab.
His favorite part about the job is the students, which is why he did STEM Career Night.
I like the students. The students are just really keep you going. They have a goal in mind.
He enjoyed STEM Career Night so much last year that he decided to return for a second time.
This is my second time here, and well attended, and I think people are very interested. It's nice to see the parents that are interested as well, working with their students to help them along. That's really nice. I wish I could tell them what's out there.
Lenape sophomore Josh Goldstein went to STEM Career Night in order to get a better idea of what chemistry jobs are out there for him.
I'm interested in anything with engineering or chemistry. I'm interested in chemistry because I just like the subject. My favorite room was the chemistry room because I thought it was the most interesting and most well done.
The various professionals ranged from biochemists to cardiologists and everything in between. They each had unique presentations for parents and students.
We had a few different kinds of engineers. We had physical therapists. We had a cardiologist.
The man who ran the chemistry room, he was very interesting because he was a scientist, then he became a teacher.
I think what excites the young people is realizing what they're learning in such a short period of time and how it might apply to what they want to do or to the real world.
All in all, the administration thinks STEM Career Night was a success.
Successful night is large attendance. Our attendance at this past STEM Career Night was pretty good. We want to build on it and expose more students to STEM careers, but things were pretty good.
STEM Career Night had a great turnout. Students were given an inside look into careers they might want to go into and look forward to for years to come. I'm Candace Sampson, and now back to the studio.
After 4 seasons, senior Carly Pettipaw has risen to the top to lead the girls' spring track team to success. For more, we go to Carrie Soika on the track with the story.
The girls' spring track team has established a strong resume of success, especially senior captain Carly Pettipaw. She is a prominent runner who contributes a great deal to the team. She has broken numerous records both individually and on the relay team and plans to do so again this year. The team is preparing for an eventful season, defending their Olympic Conference champion title. Carly and the other girls have been working hard at their intense practices. Mr. Richardson is the head coach for girls track at Lenape High School and has high hopes for this season as usual.
My expectations never change. One is that we want to always defend our Olympic Conference title if we won it last year like we did, and we want to continue to be one of the state best teams and also be nationally ranked with the national recognition that we have as a team.
Carly Pettipaw has been an important member of the team since freshman year. She puts an effort outside of school and never fails to disappoint in practices and meets.
You work hard yourself and you know you're going to get results. I currently have the 400 record for the school. That's an individual event, but I also have the 4x8 in the winter.
Coach Richardson has been and continues to be impressed with Carly's hard work.
Carly, as a leader on our team, as a silent leader, number one. Number two, she's a very hard worker, and her individual events have contributed great to the team as well as the relay events.
And this isn't the end of Carly's career as a runner. She plans to continue running on a Division I team at the University of Delaware next year.
I decided to run in college because I honestly didn't have, I loved high school, but I feel like I wasn't done. I feel like I still have more time to run and I really enjoy it and I don't want to stop.
There's no doubt that Carly is one of the biggest components on the girls' track team, and all of her training shows why. I'm Carrie Soika for Tribal News. Back to the studio.
Lenape's athletic programs experienced many accolades and achievements this spring. For more, we have Derek Hill live in the studio. Hi, Derek.
Thank you very much, Jack and Celine. As spring arose and those terrible storms left for next winter, the spring sports season opened up and they were as exciting as usual. The Lenape boys lacrosse team followed up last year's playoff run with a decent regular season. You could tell watching them on the field that they were missing some of last year's seniors. They didn't let that get to them, though, as they gained new leadership that helped them keep a good reputation. Leading scorers Anthony Brunetti and Connor Wolf led the offensive side of the field while Manny DeLesio conquered the defensive end as goalie. With the boys' team proving their worth in South Jersey again, there was no question on whether or not the girls would. They scorched their division once again as the reigning South Jersey Group 4 champions. They are hopeful for next season as two of their leading scorers, Gabby Fournier and Carly Braverman, are only in their sophomore years. Fournier scored her 100th career goal just 2 years into high school. The Lenape baseball team went into this season looking to be more successful than last year. Led by senior center fielder Garrett Mahone, the team improved, but were not as well-rounded as rivals Shawnee and Seneca. The team did, however, help Coach Fiore to his 200th career win. Lenape softball has struggled to stay above 500 over the last couple of years, and their struggles continued under the new season. On a team of just 2 seniors, they'll look to train hard so that they can improve next year. Lenape golf, one of the most overlooked teams in the school, had yet another season of high success. The team this year consisted of 4 seniors, but the roster mostly consisted of juniors and sophomores. The boys' tennis team plays in a separate season from the girls, but it's hard not to realize the similarities between the two. The boys were as successful as the girls, dominating the Group 4 division. Almost half the roster will be back next year. The Lenape boys have been very successful in track over the last few years. The team gained new management this year as Coach Nick Tyson asserted himself into the ranks of Lenape coaches. They are being led by the likes of Jake Liebling, Kevin Harrison, and Ray Backus, as the whole team proved that Coach Tyson is worthy of staying. Finally, the Lenape girls track team continued their pummeling of teams by doing what they always do for back-to-back-to-back seasons. Jack and Celine, back to you.
Thank you, Derek. Next school year, the entire Lenape district will be using a new rotating schedule, and this is going to be a huge change for everyone. We go to John Conlow for more information about this new schedule.
After 12 years, the Lenape Regional High School District is changing from a 13-period schedule to a modified rotating schedule. This change will drastically affect both teachers and students. The new rotating schedule will be going into effect for the 2015-2016 school year. The new schedule will reduce the number of classes students attend each day from 8 to 6. However, total instructional time will increase. Each class will be 57 minutes with 3 classes in the morning and 3 classes in the afternoon that alternate over 4 days. There will also be a new school-wide lunch and learn time for students between the morning and afternoon classes. In the lunch and learn period, students will have 15 minutes to meet with a teacher for extra help, meet with the club, or do homework, as well as eating lunch. In addition, the district has planned to put new tables and tabletops for students to socialize, charge their cellular devices, and eat lunch with all their friends in the courtyard, hallways, gyms, and cafeterias. Mr. Tony Catani, principal of Lenape South, thinks that the lunch and learn time can be a big opportunity for students to take responsibility for improving their education.
Everyone's eating lunch at the same time, right smack dab in the middle of the day, which I think is beneficial. So you have 3 classes, lunch, and then 3 classes. So everybody's eating at that time. I think that the students that want to get better will utilize that time to get better.
He also thinks that the new rotating schedule will add to students' independence and responsibility.
But we're going to have all of our staff on duty every other day, so all of our staff will be responsible to be in those hallways and interacting with students throughout that entire time.
As well as this 15-minute lunch period, students' classes will be 15 minutes longer, increasing from 42 minutes to 57 minutes. Students will have much more instructional time for one class. Although because of the increase in time, students will not have every class every single day, making this a huge adjustment for the entire student body. Freshman class officer Talia Hartman is very excited about this new schedule.
With the new schedule, I'm looking forward to lunch and learn because I'll be able to eat with my friends and get a little bit of work done too.
With this new schedule, students will have an opportunity to be more independent in school, but teachers will have to adjust to new teaching styles to help their students. Even though the transition may be tough, we know both students and teachers can work together to work this out. We'd like to thank Mr. Tony Catani and freshman class officer Talia Hartman for their interviews. For Tribal News, I'm John Conlow. Now back to the studio.
And now our school life correspondent Lindsay Wood stands by in the studio live with a word on some of the best happenings this spring. Hi, Lindsay.
Thanks, Jack and Celine. This year has definitely flown by. Lenape High School's theater program put in the production of Shrek the Musical this past March. Based on the Oscar-winning DreamWorks film that started it all, Shrek the Musical brought the hilarious story of everyone's favorite ogre to life on stage. With a cast of 50 students, large stage crew, and a full orchestra, the musical was a huge success. In the following month, the class of 2015 took flight on their 5 magical days in the happiest place on earth. The seniors explored all 4 parks, making memories that they will never forget. The annual senior trip to Disney World was a fantastic way to bring their high school journey to a close. It certainly has been a fantastic school year. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. The Philosophy Club is a brand new club at Lenape that is growing in popularity. For more, we go to Tyler Schlendorn.
Created by Zubin Meyer and Banu Kasmahanti, the Philosophy Club is new to the extracurricular lineup at Lenape.
The club has been growing at a rapid rate, increasing from a small number of students to over 50 members since it started a few months ago. The club discusses topics such as dreams, education, and even philosophy itself. The goal is for the students to think about the world in a different way and share their opinions with other students. Advisor Mr. Van Dan Oran has been helping the students get the club up and running.
I host discussions in my class as often as I can about all sorts of topics related to Latin, but also topics that I think are of importance to my students' lives, things they'd be interested in, the world around them. And starting Philosophy Club actually wasn't my idea, but 2 of my students approached me after one of those discussions and asked if I would be interested in starting a club where they could think about similar things, talk about them with their peers, and sort of continue the conversations we had in class. And that seemed to me like a really good idea. So when they asked if I'd be willing to advise, I told them I most definitely would, and I was very excited about it. I think the main goal of Philosophy Club, if we had to sum it up in one thing, is to provide students with a place to think about things that interest them, about things that they think are relevant to their world, about things they have questions about, but to provide them a place to do that sort of outside the normal academic environment where they're not receiving grades. It's purely just an opportunity for them to explore with one another. And then if any willing or interested teachers come with them too. But really, I think the idea is to give people a space to do that and to improve their thinking as they do.
Banu Kasmahanti is a founding member of the club and has been working hard to get the word out about the club so that way it continues to get new members.
Well, we hope that it becomes like equivalent to one of the educational clubs like Science League or Knowledge Bowl or something. And hopefully it gets as big and maybe we can have competitions with other schools just like here. Or we could have debates, I guess.
Over the next few years, the club hopes to expand and hold more in-depth discussions with guest philosophers.
The club has a bright future ahead of itself as it continues to grow and evolve into a major club at Lenape. I'm Tyler Slendorn, now back to the studio.
ROTC is a strong program for high school students that want to enlist in the military. It gives students involved a feel for Army life and if it's the right path for them. Let's take it to Autumn and Brianna for more on this program and their wins.
In high school, there are a variety of programs that can help students learn about the career field that interests them. JROTC is one such program that gives cadets a look into how the life in the Army will be. Being involved in this program can give you a lot of benefits, such as discipline, and the background knowledge to know what positions you can take in the Army. Colonel Scher is an important person in the ROTC program because he connects with the cadets and shows them that in the Army, it's not a joke. Colonel Scher helps the cadets train for these events. He has had a lot of experience and hopes that he'll inspire these students to pursue anything in the Army field.
I spent 22 years in the active service. I've had a wonderful and lucky career. When I finished my active duty time, I looked back and said I was surprised to have made it because of the different trials and tribulations you have in my field, which was international relations. I spent most of my time in the foreign service and with working for International Industrial Corporation, which is different than being a regular line soldier.
Daniel O'Callahan is a member of the drill team, one of the programs JROTC has to offer.
I got involved in JROTC because I knew it was a really great program and how it benefits you, how you can go into the military as an E1 or that's an enlisted rank 3, and that rank is a Para First Class in any branch of the military you want.
JROTC competes at several different schools and also has weekend trainings at Fort Dix to experience the life of a soldier. Real commanders and high-ranking soldiers treat these students as if they were ready to go to battle. Despite Colonel's retirement at the end of the year, the JROTC program will continue to grow and find success. Colonel has prepared the drill team in many ways, from field trips to weekly practices. This is one proud program, and Colonel will leave with wins and memories that will last forever. Now, back to the studio.
Mr. Brennan, an English teacher at Lenape, went through a rough last 6 months as he struggled with cancer. For more on this story, we go to Tony Monroe outside of his classroom.
Mr. Brennan is a longtime English teacher at Lenape. Last year, he was diagnosed with throat cancer and fought a courageous battle. Fortunately, he recovered and decided to come back to Lenape to finish out his last year as a teacher. Going into his 36th year of teaching, Mr. Brennan is a veteran at Lenape. In the midst of last year, he was halted by his diagnosis of cancer. While in the hospital, Brennan thought a lot about his life and what he has left in it. The biggest question on his mind was whether or not he was going to come back to Lenape to finish out the school year. He decided he was. The kids were his passion, and it would not be fair for him to leave them mid-year.
Why don't you just retire after I had my illness? And, something about an unfinished sentence, I guess. I had to put this semester in order. Now I feel ready to retire, but there was some unfinished business. I missed ending last year. So kind of this year is kind of what I wanted to do last year. I guess I'm ever going to be seeing another summer again. I'm never going to see Lenape again. Not that I really thought about that much. You think more about when am I going to get done this and when am I going to get back on starting my life.
Mr. Brennan is a great and passionate teacher about his subject matter. Andre Bird, a junior at Lenape, attends Mr. Brennan's class on a daily basis. He feels that Mr. Brennan is an impactful and passionate teacher.
Mr. Brennan, as a teacher, he's impacted me ridiculous amounts because, like, whenever I see one of my friends, Antonio Lewis, we have like this saying that we say, like, a bunch of them from his class. Like, it even two years later, it still kept going and kept going and kept going.
While Mr. Brennan inspires the students, he also teaches them things that they normally don't learn in a regular class.
And then, like, he is really good and really different, teaching methods. Like, he doesn't go by the book at all. So,
despite the daunting ordeal that cancer possesses, Mr. Brennan was able to overcome it and continue inspiring his students to be amazing for one more year. I would like to thank Andre Bird and Mr. Larry Brennan for their contributions to this story. From Tribal News, I'm Tony Monroe. Now back to the studio.
The annual Student Job Fair sets up Lenape students for their future. The event gives high school students a chance to become involved in job life, with employment preparing them for the future. For more, we go to Carly Boatwright.
The annual job fair was held on March 18th this year. The job fair is to help the Lenape district students find jobs who are 14 years or older. Representatives from local businesses were there to discuss upcoming opportunities for the students. 4 years ago, the job fair started and has become a great success. Students were told to dress professionally to make a good first impression. Mrs. Malesko is the district job developer of the Lenape Regional High School District. She has been responsible for running the event the past 4 years.
The job fair began 4 years ago. The idea was presented to the administration and they supported it and made it possible. The fair began in 2012 with 20 employers. This year we've increased our employers to 55. We have over 600 district students who attend this event as well. Section 1 is for students 15 and over, Section 2 is for students who are 18 and over, and Section 3 is for volunteer work.
Over hundreds of Lenape Regional High School students walked through the doors hoping to be an employee. There were numerous of job applications available for students. Mr. DeJulius is a business teacher at Lenape High School and is part of the planning committee.
We were very well prepared for the job fair this year. We have a dynamic group of staff from the district, including teachers from each building, as well as district administrators and personnel. And everybody works very well together. We start meeting in November and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And by the time the job fair gets here in March, everything just worked out very nicely for us this year.
Many students look forward to the job fair. Businesses give students an opportunity to apply for jobs and help them along the way. The event was a great opportunity for students to get a good look at summer jobs. After months of hard work and planning, the event continues to expand. resulting in more students attending each year. I would like to thank Ms. Malesko and Mr. DeJulius for speaking with us.
That's all for our spring 2015 edition of Lenape Tribal News. We'd like to thank all of our interview subjects and congratulate our reporters on their efforts.
And I'd like to congratulate you, Celine, on your commitment to Mizzou. And we here at Tribal News wish you the best of luck in a long career in broadcasting. For Celine Pence and our entire crew here in Studio ND27 at Lenape High School, I'm Jack Watson.